Hello everybody, welcome back to Mass Pundit TV. Now it is currently 5:30 in the morning. I've just got finished watching the Jake Paul vs Anthony Joshua fight, and old Muggins over here left it too late to go and do the videos again. Well, not too late, but very late to go do videos again, and here we are. I never yarn, but we never miss a video. So this is the video I'm going to be giving my score predictions for every single game for the Premier League game week 17. So let's get right into it. First up, first up we have Newcastle versus Chelsea. Now, both these teams are going to be fighting for, a Champions League place, you'd imagine, by the end of the season. Though Newcastle do need to start picking up their form. Obviously, they just lost to Sunderland, which is heartbreaking for them, obviously, in the derby. Votamade getting the own goal. That absolutely fucking not ideal for them. Not ideal. I said a naughty word there. I shouldn't have said that. Um, and Chelsea have just come after winning against Everton, which Everton, I'd say they played well that game. They played well that game. They were unfortunate not to get something out of that game, I thought, but end of the day, Chelsea got the 3 points. Cole Palmer coming back as well is a big boost for them. I've been going back and forth on this game. Newcastle, I think, are going to come back and try and, not make a statement as much, but just bounce back from that loss against Sunderland. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw, I think, for that game. Next up, Wolves versus Brentford. Wolves very, very unlucky not to get something out of the Arsenal game. We only won because of 2 own goals, and a very late one at that as well. I mean, Wolves 100% should have got a point in that game. We were awful. Brentford, you know what you're getting with them. They're not the best away from home. Otara's going to be out of this game. Obviously, with AFCON coming up as well, there's going to be a few players missing for some of these sides, I will say as well. All these Premier League sides are going to have some players missing. I think, Wolves are just as good as they were against Arsenal, or as much as they were better against Arsenal, I should say. They weren't good, but they'd worked hard. Arsenal weren't very good either. I don't know. I struggle to see them getting anything. I can see a draw. I don't see them getting a win, but I'm going to go with the safe pick, and I'm going to say a 2-1 win to Brentford. Next up, Man City versus West Ham. No disrespect, West Ham fans, but I think this is probably the easiest prediction of the video. I think Man City, I think, are going to be, by the time Arsenal play Everton, I think Man City will be top of the league, so Arsenal will be chasing that number 1 spot again. Also with the game in hand. West Ham, they should have had a point against Aston Villa, at least a point. They threw it away, and that's something that needs to be mentioned with West Ham. The amount of points they're throwing away, the 8 goals they're conceding, leads they're throwing away from winning positions. It's just not happening for West Ham at the minute. I'm going to say a 4-0 win to Man City. I'm expecting a lot of goals, so I'm going to say 4-0 to Man City. Obviously, they have some players missing from AFCON as well, but I still think against West Ham they shall be absolutely fine. Brighton versus Sunderland is up next. As I mentioned earlier, Sunderland, they're coming off that win against Newcastle. Spirits are going to be high. However, their away form isn't being that great recently, so that's to be taken into consideration. Brighton, they're doing well this season. Started off a bit hit or miss. It was a bit of an odd start for them, but they're about where you expect them to be now. Brighton, Fabian Herzier's got them well set up. They aren't missing too many players with AFCON, I don't believe. I know Bayeba's missing, which could be a big miss, but they've also got good squad depth. I've said this before about Brighton. I think they have a very balanced squad, just all around. I'm gonna say a 1-0 win to Brighton. I think it's gonna be a tight game, but I will back Brighton with a 1-0 win. Bournemouth versus Burnley now. Okay, so Bournemouth. Start with them. In one of the most chaotic games I think I've ever seen in the Premier League. That game with Manchester United was absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. Yeah. I mean, their defence wasn't great at all by any means. Clearly, they conceded so many goals. But they also scored the same amount, you know what I mean? So it was a 4-4 draw. I mean, it's ridiculous. But, Burnley, just not winning games. They are not getting points. I think, originally I thought they had a good chance at staying up after seeing them in the first, few games, but now just making games difficult is not enough. They need to start picking up points, and it's just not happening. Bournemouth not been on the best of form lately, but maybe their spirits will be raised due to that game against Manchester United, as I said. I'm going to go 2-1 to Bournemouth, I think, at home advantage. Yeah, I'm going to say a 2-1 win to Bournemouth. Tottenham versus Liverpool next. Liverpool seem to be back to their best now, Obviously, they have just got the win against Brighton. Spurs coming off a 3-0 loss against Nottingham Forest, which is crazy. I mean, Spurs I think Thomas Frank's in serious danger of getting sacked. I think he's a good coach, don't get me wrong, Thomas Frank, but it's just not working there at Tottenham at the minute. Liverpool, whether that rough patch, shall we say, is over, is looking that way. They're getting good results, beat Inter Milan, beat Brighton now. They are picking up points. And picking up wins as well. So maybe we are starting to see the best of them. Obviously, Saya's going to be away from AFCON, due to AFCON, sorry. But obviously, the whole thing going on with him in Scott. Anyway, we're not sure how much of a key role he would be playing. I can't see anything other than a Liverpool win, to be honest. I'm going to say a 3-1 win to Liverpool away from home. Yeah, I think there'll be goals, but I think Liverpool will come out victorious. Leeds versus Crystal Palace next. This is a very, very interesting game because Leeds is starting to, ever since Daniel Farke changed system, starting to pick up some good results, some decent results. Palace got some players leaving on AFCON. Obviously, Ismail Sarr being one of the main ones. Palace in a very good position at the minute. Leeds fighting for survival, but as I said, coming off some decent results. They beat Chelsea, got a draw with Liverpool recently. So yeah, the Leeds are doing well. Leeds are doing pretty well. I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. I do fancy a 2-2 draw in this game. I think that's a good point for Leeds as well. Leeds home side, we know how the atmosphere is there. So yeah, I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. Obviously, you're going to have to wait, a bit later on. By the time you see this video, you might even see the Everton versus Arsenal preview, but you're going to have to wait for a separate video for that one. So we'll move straight on to Aston Villa versus Man United. Aston Villa, I mean, I think it's 9-game winning run now, something like that. It's crazy. Aston Villa have been so good, so good. Man United, they should have won that game against Bournemouth. I think they should have won that game against Bournemouth. And to be fair, Bournemouth had the chance at the end to steer it. So I don't know. It was a crazy game. United are going through patches. They're sometimes good, sometimes then they drop off, and one bad result and they seem to drop off a lot. Villa, I just can't get past them at home. I think they've been very, very good. Unai Emery's got them well set up. Again, a good balanced squad. I'm going to say a 2-0 win to Aston Villa. Finally, Fulham versus Nottingham Forest. Fulham are going to struggle with AFCON. I think Calvin Bassey's off, Chukwueze's off, and Alex Iwobi. All of those are going off to AFCON. So, that's 3 players who have been starting. Forest are going to use Sangaré, who had a very, very good game against Tottenham. But now they've got Dougie Luiz, who I imagine will step in, which is, there's no shame in that. Fulham need to start picking up points. Forest, obviously, in a relegation fight, need to pick up points. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. You know how much I have a 1-1 draw, so I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. But that is it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe button, share button, all that good stuff. It is greatly appreciated. I hope to see you in the next video. Take care and enjoy the football.